When I started Quarantine Night Live, like I said, it was just out of not boredom, but loneliness and uncertainty. When quarantine started, I was like, all right, let's be there for the people that have been there for me. Start a show where we just check in on each other. And let's start a Discord where we make a community of people that check in on each other. And we have. And gosh, it felt like it was yesterday. Not yesterday, but like a week ago, and it's gone by so quickly. What I recently realized about quarantine for me is that I didn't have anything to sort of measure my progress with for this year. And in a lot of ways, I felt like this year, personally for me, was kind of a waste because I didn't get a lot done. After some reflection and thinking and everything, I kind of understand that it's because I didn't have anything to measure my achievements with. There was no barometer of success in quarantine because nobody's doing anything. Nothing's happening. The earth has stood still. I kind of felt like things were pointless in a way. The only thing that was kind of keeping my brain from melting was Quarantine Night Live and you guys. I love it. I love you guys, and I love being here with you and sharing this space with you, but it still didn't feel like I was getting any closer to the goals that I have set for myself for 2020. And that's nobody's fault, right? It's just that's for everybody for this year. But then I start thinking, when December hits, or November or October, late October, you're like, wow, the year's almost over. What did I get done? And I felt like I got nothing done, and I felt really crappy. I felt really shitty. And I was sad. I was really sad. And I'm ashamed of that. That's really messed up on my part because you guys deserve better. You guys deserve me at my best and working hard and all that stuff to release as many songs as I can. But when the Spotify numbers came out and I saw that just by doing nothing, I was able to double the numbers that I had last year, it blew my mind. Seeing those numbers double from me doing nothing was like, wow, people don't need new music, but they want it. And so I was telling myself, well, the world doesn't really need new music for me. They need, if anything, they just need cheer. They need happiness. They need somebody to be there for them. That's why I was so heavily invested in Quarantine Night Live, because I can directly help somebody quicker by being there for them, by giving them something to look forward to or something to laugh at, namely me. Laugh at me, just feel better. A lot of people are at home dealing with God knows what, whether it's traumatic home situation, mental health issues, suicidal thought, and just being cooped up in isolation will do anybody real harm. It happened to me. In isolation, I was telling myself, well, people don't need new music. People need support. And so whatever you think from that dark voice in your head, you start believing. I felt so stupid. I felt really dumb. I have this bad habit of self-sabotaging myself when things are going well. A lot of times I do think it's from like imposter syndrome and thinking that you're not worthy. But then I have to remind myself, no, you do. You do, because you put in the time to learn how to do music, the production, the singing, the writing, the recording. You bought the equipment, like you work towards this. And when things go well, and then I see other friends of mine who are just as talented, if not more, and it doesn't go their way, but it's going well for me, it's like, well, why isn't it working for them, but it's working for me? And then you feel guilty. I kind of felt like I was an imposter because I didn't feel like I was deserving of it. And then I have to remind myself, like, oh no, I do. And I didn't feel that way this entire year. Well, I felt that way in January and February. I was on fire. I was writing 3 songs a night. That is unheard of. I was riding the momentum of 2019. There was movement, there was, firing on all synapses, and then March was when the shutdown happened, but I was still active, right? I wrote Coronavirus. So I mean, like I was firing. And then April I get sick and the crank stopped. No movement, no motion, no guitar, no playing, no singing. I'm just recovering. I'm trying not to die. And then all of a sudden, everybody's shut down and there's a lockdown. Everyone's staying inside. You can't play. You can't do anything. You get isolated. You feel unworthy of, I don't want to say success, but accomplishments and achievements. And that Spotify stuff kind of was like, no, motherfucker, you did this. We did this. They did this. You guys did this. By the way, can we talk about what, like, all the changes we've all went through in 2020? For starters, I've never worn V-necks in my life. And 2020 is like, you know what? Let me start wearing some V-necks. I got V-necks for the very first time in my life. And I was like, you know what? If I'm ever going to experiment with a different kind of collar size or shape, now is the time to do it. I was wearing V-necks, testing them out a good month or two before anybody saw me in V-necks. I'm like, how do I feel about this? What does this look like? And the final consensus is, yeah, V-necks 2020. That's the new thing for me, because I had the beard and I couldn't see my neck, and it looked like a float. Somebody told me that I had like I looked like a floating head because all this darkness and then my black shirt and then my black beard. I looked like a floating head, and I'm like, well, that can't work. What else happened for me? I don't know about you guys, but for me, there are bands that I try to get into that I just can't get into for whatever reason, and I'm like, but everybody loves them. I feel like there's some value in here that I'm not getting. And for the longest time, like, I never got into Kiss. 2020 is the year I kind of like, oh, okay, Kiss has some good songs. Black Diamond. You know what's funny though? I don't like a lot of Kiss's rock songs. I love their disco stuff. Paul Stanley's voice is perfect for disco. Jane's Addiction, like, I'm getting heavy into Jane's Addiction. Like, they like, before it was just kind of, I don't want to say noise, but it was out there for me. But I stuck with it, and I'm really liking Jane's Addiction now. Oh, a huge change was guitars. I like guitars with big necks, fat necks that are like a baseball bat. And then my boy Alvaro, he gave me this one to use on Quarantine Night Live, the Alvaro guitar, as we so lovingly refer to it as. And this is just a beast. It's great, and this thing is a lot of fun. You guys know that. But what this guitar did for me was it changed my perception of what I liked about a guitar. But like I said, I like fat necks that are like a baseball bat, that are just girthy, because I have huge hands myself. And this is a very... I'm so sorry. This is a very thin neck. It's a very, very, like, un piquito neck. It really changed my perception on what I like about a guitar. This guitar is so incredible and so smooth, and it's just like playing butter. You know, after Eddie Van Halen passed away, I was like very inspired to play that kind of guitar, that kind of style. That guitar changed a lot of what I thought I liked, so much so that I'm considering doing some changes and updates to Stella. So Stella 2.0 coming soon. So thumbs up for changes. I'm going through changes. 2020 is about to be over, and I just want to say good job to you. A lot of stuff happened this year, not just for me, obviously, but for everybody. Everybody has had things that they didn't anticipate whatever happened to them, or their families, or their loved ones, or their friends, and things along those lines. I just want to say I'm proud of you, and I'm happy that you're here celebrating life, music, joy, happiness with me, but also just doing it for you too. That's important. I'm happy that you've been able to make it, because not a lot of people have. I have Post-its all over my place. I mean, like, literally, I've got Post-its freaking everywhere, and I have them to remind myself of everything that we've done this year, but everything that we've gotten to or gone through to get here, and I really appreciate that. I feel worthy of my goals. And I wanted to say thank you. So thank you guys for making this year pretty cool, pretty awesome, pretty sweet. Thank you for being there. Thank you for loving what I do. Thank you for allowing yourself to be loved. Thank you for being there for me. I hope I've been there nearly as much for you as you've been for me. You've made this year survivable. You've given me strength to get through it. You know what you guys did? You gave me purpose. You guys gave me purpose for this year when nobody in my field had any purpose, really. No amount of thanks will ever truly express how thankful I am for you guys. So thank you.